It's been almost a full day now since we had that Nintendo Direct, and today I wanted to shine some positivity and go over my 5 most hype announcements from the Direct. If you didn't watch it, I did a full discussion with Tucker from Backlog Banter on the Direct. It's like a 50-minute discussion. Go check that out. In general, I'm more negative, I think, than most people in this Direct, but it was still a good Direct. It just didn't have that, those tentpole first-party announcements that I was expecting, but outside of that, it was a very good Direct with maybe some questionable pacing. But with that said, let's shine some positivity on this thing with my 5 most hype announcements. Let's get into it. All right, so first up, I have to talk about that Xenoblade 3 DLC. Spoiler alert for Xenoblade, though, if you watch the Direct, Nintendo spoiled all 3 Xenoblade games in one go. We knew what this was going to be, essentially, from the image for the expansion pass with all 3 of the blades on the image. But actually seeing it in motion, seeing Adult Shulk, Adult Rex, and Adult Noah all fighting Alvis, who is evil now. Listen, I don't know what's going on here, but as a diehard Xenoblade fan, this is... It's the most fan service, and I'm here for it. This is exactly what I wanted this DLC to be. I wish we had maybe seen a little bit more of it in terms of gameplay, in terms of the title and all that, but either way, this was a slam dunk. I cannot wait for this DLC. If it even comes close to being the size of Torn of the Golden Country for Xenoblade 2, that game's expansion, this is going to be one of the best games of the year, and it's a DLC, so I'm really excited for this. Monolith Soft does not really miss, and yeah, I'm just excited to delve in and see what changes they make to the gameplay, and what that story ends up being. I don't want to speculate too much, but I'm pretty sure the only console in Xenoblade 2, or that wasn't in Xenoblade 3, the only letter console was A. Alvis, what you doing, bro? What's going on here? What's going on? Coming in at number 4, and this one might surprise a lot of you, kind of low on the list, is Metroid Prime Remake. I'm putting this a bit lower because I really don't know how I feel about the fact that it is just the first game. Now, I have not played it yet. I'm very excited to check it out after I record this video, actually. When I first saw it, my monkey brain, I was like, oh, it doesn't look that much better. No, this is a full remake. It's kind of weird they even called it remastered. This is a full remake of Metroid Prime 1. It looks like it's one of the best looking games on Switch based on the comparison screenshots I've seen. So they definitely did their due diligence. $40 out today. That's the biggest shadow drop Nintendo's ever done. That's really exciting. Are we going to get 2 and 3, though? I'm sorry. I cannot help but think, where's 2 and 3? And they didn't even mention Prime 4. So definitely a little bit of like my YouTuber, what's going on here, kind of company think brain going on. But Metroid Prime Remake being available right now after so many years of speculation and rumors and leaks, finally seeing it manifest now, you can play it right now, is really cool. And for the physical collector and all of us, you can actually pick up a physical copy in 2 weeks. So best of every world, literally. I just want to see what they're gonna do with 2 and 3. And where 4 is. It was the fact they didn't mention 4. I'm just like, huh, that's a little weird. So we'll see what goes on with that. But either way, having Metroid Prime Remake just be shadow drop like that was an absolute feel-good announcement. Probably the most hype announcement for most people in this Nintendo Direct. And certainly one that I don't think any of us saw coming quite in that way of being shadow drop. So really exciting stuff all around right there. Next up, we have to talk about these NSO updates. Now, personally, I was not expecting this. I thought maybe in the September Direct this year, we would finally get Game Boy and GBA. Because typically these big NSO updates do happen in September around the anniversary of when that service launched. But nope, here we are. It's February, and we got Game Boy and GBA games added to Switch Online. And once again, shadow drop. So GBA is something I've been waiting for since literally the service started. SNES was cool when they added that. And N64, I think, has a pretty stunted library. But GBA, that's what I was really waiting for. And this announcement, if you watch my reaction, I was very scared for a little bit there because they showed Game Boy first. They were talking about it for a little while, and I was like, oh, please do GBA. And lo and behold, if you have the expansion pack, you get GBA. Only 6 games right now, a pretty quaint little library. No Metroid yet, no Golden Sun, but those are promised. I think there's so much room for GBA to grow, and even the Game Boy library, for the Game Boy, what it is, and having kind of a smaller library in general, I want to say, at least in terms of like the really high quality Nintendo games. It has a really good lineup at start. It has Mario Land 2, it has Link's Awakening DX, Mario Land 2. There's some really good stuff there to play and dive into. Alone in the Dark, a really weird third-party game to have on there. So really exciting stuff. It's exciting to see Nintendo continue to expand into the Switch Online and, quite frankly, make it a really good deal. I mean, I think Switch Online with the expansion pack was already a good deal the moment they added the Mario Kart DLC and Animal Crossing DLC. They're probably going to do the Splatoon DLC, I would imagine, and add N64 games and GBA games on top of that, and it's a pretty, I can sleep easy at night paying for this, you know. I'm definitely getting my money's worth, and I'm excited to see what all they add for GBA and Game Boy in the future. You know, pipe dream is Pokemon mainline. Not going to happen, but maybe, probably not, but maybe. That would be incredible. I just don't really know if that'll happen. That's definitely like the pipe dream. Maybe even just the spin-offs would be cool, like Red Rescue Team. But either way, having Game Boy Advance on Switch finally, I'm excited to play WarioWare. I'm excited to replay Minish Cap and Fusion when that comes, and Golden Sun, Fire Emblem, the original Fire Emblem that came to America. So yeah, I'm freaking stoked, man. What a feel-good announcement that I genuinely, out of all of these things, was expecting probably the least. Well, except for number one, which we'll get to. All right, next up, we have to talk about a remake or remaster collection from Bandai Namco. So literally the day of the Direct, I got this little game in the mail here, Baten Kaitos Origins, and I'm excited to play these games. You know, there had been rumors that it was going to get ported. This was one of my 9 hopes for the Direct, and my 9 hopes video. I specifically mentioned Baten Kaitos Collection because it was rumored, it was kind of leaked. We kind of knew it was coming, but to see it actually happen and manifest, very exciting. Once again, though, with most of this list, old games, I do have to be a little negative there for a second. Mostly old stuff. But yeah, Baten Kaitos coming back. I've never played these games, so it is a complete unknown for me. I might not even like them, but I trust Monolith Soft, and I love the art style. I love the music, the ideas for the story. The gameplay looks cool, so I have a hard time believing I won't like this. There are a couple of weird things here. They said it's not going to have the English voiceover, which is really weird. I know it wasn't like a great voiceover apparently, but still, you would want to have that in the remaster collection. The fact that it's both games in one, I was not expecting. I thought for sure it would be just Baten Kaitos 1, and then maybe we'd get Origins later on. But either way, definitely a feel-good announcement for weird niche GameCube JRPG fans, and I'm super excited to finally check out this series later this year. Although if there's no freaking English voiceover, maybe I'll just play it on GameCube. A little weird, Nintendo, or well, little weird Namco. So we'll see. Maybe they'll change their mind and add the English VO. Either way, a really exciting announcement just to see some niche JRPG like this come back. I don't think anybody expected this or would have expected it had it not leaked. So just definitely a feel-good announcement here as well. And finally, coming in at my number 1. So it's one specific game, but I just want to say, Level 5 is back. Now listen, growing up, I'm not going to sit here and pretend I was the biggest Level 5 fan. You know, I didn't really play Yokai Watch growing up, or, you know, Snack World and these things. However, I love Professor Layton. In this Nintendo Direct, we got 3 new Level 5 games, and they all look fantastic. So the first thing was Deca Police, which new IP from them. I need to see more of it. I'm excited. It looks interesting. I like how Level 5 is so willing to make new IP like this and expand. I just need to see more of that coming out this year. Then we got Fantasy Life I, which I never really played Fantasy Life on 3DS, but I know a lot of people that love that franchise. So to see it come back in a proper way on a console this year, once again, incredibly exciting. But then the one for me, the big one, which was just a small teaser but still extremely exciting, was Professor Layton and the New World of Steam. We are getting a return to form, a return to its roots Professor Layton game, which will probably spark a whole new trilogy, and that is just so exciting. It's crazy because I'm actually replaying these games right now and playing the prequels for the first time. So to see Layton show up in a Direct at all, it's crazy. You know, this is one of those things where you would maybe have expected them to do a collection first or something like that. Port Curious Village and Diabolical Box and Oman Future, because those are already in HD on iOS. Port those to Switch first. No. We're just going straight for a new game. The art style looks gorgeous from the little bit we saw. The concept art looks fantastic. This was the biggest announcement of the Direct for me. The biggest new announcement at the very least, I should say. This game, I cannot wait. I cannot wait to see what they do with a modern Professor Layton game. I think I'm going to do a full video talking about Level 5 being back on the Switch, so stay tuned for that. But either way, this was a really feel-good announcement. I don't think anybody expected not only Professor Layton to come back right now, but for any of this Level 5 stuff to be here. You know, and it makes me excited for the future. Once again, not going into what I'll talk about in the Level 5 video, but you have to imagine Yokai Watch is in the cards right now. So, really exciting stuff from Level 5, and that's going to do it for this Direct. I think overall, like I said, it was a weaker Direct in terms of new announcements, but as someone who has a big backlog and is always willing to add more to that backlog, I have a lot of stuff in my backlog now. And there is some stuff to look forward to, like that Xenoblade DLC. The Mario Kart DLC looks good as well. And then Professor Layton, all these Level 5 games. And then, you know, older stuff like the Game Boy games I'll be playing off and on. Metroid Prime Remake, which I'll be powering through this week probably. And then Baten Kaitos, which is awesome. So, really good stuff all around. I do wish there'd been more first-party announcements, maybe a new Mario game, just something like that to really kind of capsize it. I didn't mention Pikmin 4 here, but Pikmin 4 does look absolutely fantastic. Credit where credit is due. I certainly have like a specific talking point, but that game looks awesome too. So overall, a very divisive direct, to say the least, but there is some stuff in here, I think, for everyone, and for me, these 5 announcements are my favorite. So let me know down in the comments below, what are your 5 favorite announcements from this Nintendo Direct, from yesterday's Nintendo Direct, and let me know. I would love to get a conversation going. Let me know what you thought of the Direct, and did you think it was good? I see most people seem to be disagreeing with me, to be completely honest, and that's completely fine. You know, the Direct isn't going to be for everybody, but yeah, let me know what you think down in the comments below. Until next time, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please consider subscribing so you don't miss any more Nintendo topics like this each and every day, and I will see you next time. Until next time, bye bye.